Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back putting a positive spin on Open Water 2, Adrift. Jason and I recently discussed the first Open Water during Bravo's Scariest Movie Moments Challenge, so we thought, why not do a positive spin on its first sequel? As a matter of fact, we're considering giving Open Water 3 a positive spin as well at some point. For now, though, we've put our focus on Adrift. Open Water 2 Adrift is the 2006 follow-up to Open Water. Like the first one, this part 2 was also based on true events. For the most part, people don't like this one, if they've seen it at all. The first Open Water was a major hit, but this sequel was sort of a swing and a miss for many. That's why Jason and I are giving it a positive spin. Let me start by saying, as much as I love the original Open Water, I prefer Open Water 2. As I go through my positives now, I hope you can understand why. I like the opening footage of all of the friends. It establishes their relationships quickly. And speaking of those friends, I like the cast. There's Susan May Pratt, who was also in 10 Things I Hate About You. There's Nicholas Lang, who played Rob Logan in Dawson's Creek. And then there's Eric Dane, who is probably the most recognizable for most movie fans. I think it's really unique that there's also a baby in this sequel, and that's significant. Amy's backstory in the film is a positive for me. It adds another layer to this sequel. I love the contrast of the characters. Despite all being close in the past, we now have a married couple with a baby, and then others who are much more carefree with their lives. Of course, there's a fine line between carefree and careless, and that comes into play. Without spoiling it, the scene when Amy first gets in the water was really well done. The way it was shot is very disorienting. As the viewer, you feel like you're there with her and the rest of them. A huge positive for me with this film is the situation. It's the fact that the boat is right there. Unlike the first Open Water when the boat left them behind, they can't get back on the boat in this one because they forgot to lower the ladder. It's so discouraging because they just can't get back on board. And it's right there. The boat is right there. It's one giant symbol of false hope. They should feel safe because the boat is right there, but they can't climb onto it. I really love that idea. It makes you feel frustrated as a viewer. The fact that the baby is left on the boat all alone just adds to the frustration. In this sequel, there are more characters, so there is more going on at all times. This also allows for the opportunity for a legitimate body count. That's a positive. I really like the conversation about people doing extraordinary things in dire situations. It's as if these characters are trying not to lose hope. Speaking of which, I like that they actually do come up with some smart ideas. The cell phone scene is another positive for me because it's another sign of false hope. Then another boat passes, and it's more false hope. We get some nudity in Open Water 2, Adrift, and that's almost always a positive. There's the skull fracture, the stabbing. When it rains, it pours in this film. It literally does, too, later on in the movie, when there's a storm at night. That's a positive. The drowning scene is very disturbing. It's dark. There are some legitimately sad moments throughout, including that scene. I like that there's a little dramatic twist, almost an hour into the movie. And a huge positive for me is that the shark aspect, which worked so well in the first Open Water, is only teased in this one, early on in the film. There are other dangers in this one the characters must face. Open Water 2 is very fast-paced, and it has a good ending too, albeit ambiguous. The last positive I'll mention is when it shows the title at the end. It says Open Water 2, Adrift, and then the word adrift goes adrift. I thought that was a clever touch. Overall, like I said at the start of this video, I actually prefer Open Water 2, Adrift to the original Open Water. But you don't have to agree. This is just my positive spin. Be sure to check out Jason's as well. Have you seen this sequel? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. To which hated or neglected movie will we next give a positive spin? Check back soon to find out. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.